Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can add CSS code to your HTML page. Alright, let's start. Okay guys, this is the HTML code that we have, but I would like to review what we did so far. First, on the first step, we create a wireframe. If you don't see this part, I have a video. I'm going to put on the link on the comments below. And then what we did, we create this mockup. In this video, I show you how you can import images, how you can add more design to your mockup. And then on the third video is about this HTML code. Okay, if you remember what we did here, we create all these tags. We added different classes, and the idea was to build the same information and the structure of the design, okay, on the font view. We create that on HTML, okay? If we take a look to the material, I'm gonna go to my desktop. I have here the mockup. I'm gonna put that as a part of the material that you can download. And here I have on this folder, I have the images and the HTML element, okay? All right, and then here in Dreamweaver, if you see on the right part, I have the same folder, I have the images folder, and I have the index file. All right, but now we're going to add CSS code, okay? There are a few ways that you can add CSS code. One of these ways is the code that you can add inline, what that means. For example, let's take a look to this code first. I have the body here, the tag body that starts there and finish here all the way down. Same thing here, I have the page wrapper, which is the wrapper of the entire code of my website, and finish there. Then I have the header. Look at this, I can close the header, and then I can close the main content, and everything is inside the page wrapper. All right, and the header starts here and finish there. And then inside I have the banner, and I have the navigation bar. For example, what if you want a background color for the header? One thing that I can do, I can position my mouse here. I'm going to click there between the R and this angle bracket. I'm going to type space, and then I'm going to type style. If you type just ST, automatically Dreamweaver, when I recognize you want to type style, you can hit return, and then automatically you will see style equal, and then the quote. And here inside you can type CSS. For example, I'm going to put BA as some background, and then with the arrows keys on my keyboard, I'm going to go down until the background color. I'll hit return, and for example, I can put a color, let's say, for example, red. And can you see, automatically you will see the red color is there on the left. If you want to continue adding more elements, for example, I would like to increase the height. In that case, I have to type semicolon. All right, and then what I have to do is, for example, I'm going to put H as a height, and immediately I can see it's there, return, and then I can put, for example, let's say 400 px, it stands for pixels, and you can see the height of that is 400 pixels. You see, that is one way that you can add CSS code, that's something that we call inline, directly here, okay? But there is a second way that we can add CSS, and is here on the head tag. If you remember, the head is the information that you don't see on the website directly on the design. It's information that you can put here, for example, keyword, description, the title, and other stuff. But also I can add CSS. Look here, I'm going to position my mouse there and hit return in order to have an extra line of code. Okay, I'm going to put here on the left, and I'm going to type style. For example, I'm going to type style here, and then tab, then return, return, okay, go one step up, and here you can write code. I'm going to indent here in order to see on the same, and I'm going to indent here as well. And here you can start adding code. For example, let's say I would like to add code for the banner. In that case, the banner is a class, okay? When you type classes, you have to start with a period, okay, and then I can put here the name of the class. In this case, for example, banner home, and type B, there it is, and then I have to open and close this curly brace. You see, it's like a parenthesis inside there. You have to put all the CSS code. Then I'm gonna hit return, okay? And now I can start adding code. For example, I'm gonna put the same. BA as a background. I'm gonna go here to the background color. And let's say I would like to put, for example, pink. Okay, you can name it with names. Then I'm gonna show you different ways that you can add colors. And then I'm gonna add the semicolon. Then I'm gonna hit return, and let's say I'm gonna change the height. I'm gonna put height there, and I'm gonna put, for example, 200 px. Okay, and then semicolon. Can you see that is the way you can add CSS code here that is on the head. You can add inline directly here. And the third way, you can create an external file. Okay, and that is the way that we are going to use in this video. We are going to create an external document, and we are going to save the CSS there. Okay, but before I do that, I'm gonna delete whatever I did. I'm gonna select all this. Okay, from the style to the style, I'm gonna delete here. I'm gonna delete the style that I have here inline. Okay, and now I would like to create an external file. How you can do that? First, I'm gonna go here to my files panel. I'm gonna select my folder, and I'm gonna right click, and I'm gonna create a new folder. Why a new folder? Because it's very common you create a folder, and then inside that folder you will save whatever CSS external file that you have. And it's very common to have more than one, two, or three CSS max. Is very common to see on every single website. Okay, I'm gonna select here new folder. I'm gonna call this folder CSS, return. Then double check the folder is selected, right click again, and select new file. What's gonna happen, you will create a CSS file here inside. If you see by default, the name is, the extension is HTML. I'm gonna select all that, and I'm gonna type here, for example, ski style. Remember to do not type any name with spaces or special characters, and then .css, and return. Okay, I have the folder there, I have the style there, and if I show you my desktop in my computer, and if I open this folder, you can see the CSS folder is there, and the document is there inside. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna go back to Dreamweaver. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to link this CSS file with this document. And then I have to do the same thing for the home, the about, the gallery, and the other pages. How you can do that? First, position the mouse here before the head finish, and I'm gonna type link. Press tab, and then here inside the quote, you have to type the path to go to this file. If you see the path first has to start with the CSS. I'm gonna type C, automatically it recognizes you want to go to that folder, enter, and then you see automatically is recognizing you want to select this file, okay, and I'm gonna select that file, and done. Now this document, you have the link to that particular file. And to finish, what you have to do, you have to go to the file menu, and you have to select save all. As soon as you save all, Dreamweaver gonna add that file to this list. If you see here, you have the source code. That means this is the source code, the HTML code. But if you click here, you can see the CSS document, which is the same information that you have inside this document. If you open this document, you will see the same. Okay, and the idea is here on that document, you have to start writing the CSS. Okay, how we gonna start? First, I'm gonna take a look to my document in Photoshop. Okay, and if you take a look, the first element that I need is this background image and then this text. I'm gonna go back to Dreamweaver, and I can see that is the banner home and the H1. In that case, I'm gonna go to my CSS. I'm gonna position my mouse here, and I have to point the banner. Remember, if you want to add CSS for one class, you have to start with a period. Automatically, then we're going to show you all the different classes that you have. I'm going to navigate with the arrows on my keyboard. I'm going to select banner home, and here I have to open, and automatically then we're going to close the curly brace, and then hit return. Okay, and now what I'm planning to do, I'm gonna add one property. For example, I'm gonna type background, okay, and you see background is there, but I'm gonna add background color, and then I can type, for example, the same thing that I did, I'm gonna type red. You see, automatically you will see the red is there, and then I'm gonna finish with semicolon. Okay, what is all this? If you see here, okay, on the beginning, this is the selector, okay, and you can see different selector. For example, here you will see banner home, or you can see H1, or you can see header. It's all the classes, the IDs, and also all the HTML elements that you can put there. Then inside the curly brace is all the declaration of this CSS. The declaration start here, and then the declaration finish there. And then inside you have the property. Okay, and then after the column, what you have here is the value of that property. You can see, and always is the same. For example, you can see background color red. Then you can see width 100%, height 200 pixels. You can see it's pretty easy, the CSS, if you know the names. Then I'm gonna give you a few tips how you can investigate the different names of the CSS and the different possibilities that you can add to your code. Okay, but in this case, instead to add a background color, what I would like is an image. In that case, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to type BA as a background, and I'm going to go here down, and I'm going to select background image. Okay, and the background image is very important to understand when you add a background image as a part of the background of the div. You have to select URL. Then I'm going to hit there. Okay, and here I can browse. I'm gonna select browse, and then automatically will connect to the root folder. I'm gonna select images, and here I can see what is the image that I need. For example, if I select this first one, okay, or I can change the view. For this view, I can recognize the image, and in this case is the image number 4, and I'm gonna select open. I can see, and now the image is inside. You don't see the image inside because you have to do a few changes, but the image is there. But look at this. On the first part of the link, you can see this, you have 2 periods and then a backslash. Why is that? I would like to explain you that because this is what happened. This CSS document is inside the CSS folder. You can see it's there. And what happened, the code that I have there inside, the link, you have to go one folder outside and then inside the folder images. In that case, this particular code, the period, or dot, and then the backslash, what's gonna happen, you will go one level up. If you get rid of that, then you don't see the image. You have to put there period, and then the backslash, and then whatever image you have inside the images folder. Can you see? All right, perfect. Then I have the background image. You have to put here a semicolon and then return. Then the width is already there, it's covering the whole thing, and then I would like to put the height. I'm going to put H, and here I'm going to put height, and let's say I would like here 300 px. Then maybe we can change that in order to see the image inside. Perfect. Then I would like to change the size of the image. If you want, you can just type the word size, then you will see there background size. You can see background hyphen size. I'm going to click there, and you have the auto content cover. In this case, I'm going to select cover. Cover is like a fill proportionally this frame. Okay, and the background of the image will cover the entire div. That is the idea. And then the only thing that I can do, can you see when you shrink the image? Okay, what I can do is the background position. I'm going to enter, I'm going to BA, and then I have here the background position, enter, and I'm going to put here center. And then if you start shrinking the image, you can see always the image is on the center. If you want, you can put left, right, okay, there are different things that you can do. Also, you can put value in pixels. Then what I would like to do, if I go to my Photoshop, I would like to put this font. If you remember this font, I'm going to select my text tool in Photoshop. I'm going to click there. If you remember, the font family is the Happy Monkey. It's a font that I download from Google Fonts. In that case, I had to connect, okay? I had to connect my file with the Google font. How you can do that? First, I'm going to go to the HTML code, okay? And I'm going to go here to the head. I'm going to create a new line for my head, okay? And what I have to do, I'm gonna go to the Google Fonts. In fonts.google.com, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna search the name Happy Monkey. Then I'm gonna see this font, and here I'm gonna select this font. Then you will see this black bar on the bottom. You click there, you can see the code that you had to put here on the head. You can see to embed your select font into the website, copy this code on the head of your HTML document. You can see it's pretty simple. Just highlight this, copy. I'm gonna right click, I'm gonna copy, and then I'm gonna go to my Dreamweaver, and here on the head, I'm gonna paste. And what happened now, you have a link with that font. Then on the CSS, I'm gonna hit return, and if I take a look to my HTML document, you know the ski web is H1. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the CSS, and here you have to type H1. But before you type H1, you have to be more specific, because if you type here H1 and then you put that font family, you will affect every single H1 that you have in this document, not just the one on the banner. If you want to add the design just for the banner, you have to be more specific. In that case, I'm gonna type period, okay, and I'm gonna put banner home, and then space H1. And what's gonna happen, you will affect the H1 that is inside the banner home. And now you can open and close curly bracket or curly brace, and then I'm gonna put here FO as a font, and you have their font family. And now I can put the font family. If you take a look to the code, I'm gonna go here to Google Chrome. This is the code. I'm gonna put here the Happy Monkey. I'm gonna copy that part, or you can copy the entire thing, but I already put font family. I'm gonna just paste. Okay, and if you see now is that font family. Then I'm gonna return, okay, and I'm gonna put, for example, TE as a text. I'm gonna put text align. I'm gonna put on the center, like on the center of the page, semicolon. Then I'm gonna hit enter. Let's say I would like to change the size. I would like something a little bigger. If I go here, you can see it's bigger. And then I'm gonna put here, for example, the font, and then I have there the font size. Here you can put in pixel. For example, I can put, let's say, 50px. If I want, you will increase the size of the font. And also you will work with M's. And I like to work with M's because the M is more related, is more responsive, okay? It will adapt more with the responsive design that you have on your website, okay? In that case, I'm gonna put 1M, okay, is going to be the default size that you have for your browser, okay? Then if you put the 2M, is going to be double of that. If you want something bigger, you can put 3M's, okay? And then I'm gonna put there semicolon. Okay, perfect. Then what happened, if you notice here, I have this big margin from the top. It's a property of the H1. In that case, I'm gonna put here the margin, okay? I can put here the margin top, and then I can put there 0. Okay, and then you will see that gonna delete the margin that you have on the top. But then if you notice, I would like to put a little more down. In that case, I can add a little padding to the element, which is this banner, not the banner home. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna hit enter, and I'm gonna put there padding, and this is going to be the padding top. And let's say I'm gonna put there 20px. Then what I can do, I would like to change the color. For the color, you don't have to type font color. You can type just color, okay? And then put whatever color you want, or you have the color picker, okay? With the color picker, I can select this eyedropper, and then I can click in one part of the image. For example, I'm gonna click here, okay? And then you will have that color automatically on the font, or if you want, you can add another darker color. Okay, let's continue. If you notice here, by default, you have this little margin, you can see on the top and here on the left. That is a property of the body, and that is something that we can change as well. In that case, I'm gonna put my mouse there, okay, and I'm gonna type here body, okay, and then open and close curly brace, enter, and I'm gonna put here margin, and I'm gonna type 0. That will remove that margin that you have by default. Okay, let's continue. Now what I would like to do, I would like to work with the navigation bar. I'm gonna go to Photoshop and I can see I have all this part here that I have the same font, okay? And I would like to change the font, and I would like to change, of course, the alignment, and I'm gonna put this bar on the bottom, okay, on the back. All right, how we can do that? If you remember, on the HTML code, it's a standard to work with the ULs and LIs and A, okay? In that case, what I had to do, I had to affect, for example, the A. But if I put just A, you will affect whatever anchor or whatever link or hyperlink that you have on your website. In that case, you have to go and you have to be more specific. For example, what you can do, you can put here nav space UL space LI and space A. Can you see? That is very specific, but it's just to show you the idea of what you can do, and that you will affect whatever anchor that is inside a list item, that is inside another list, and that is inside the navigation bar, okay? There are different ways to do this, but in order to show you the order and to be clear with that, then open and close curly brace, return, and here I'm gonna start doing a few things. First, I would like to remove the underline, okay? And the underline, the code is text decoration, okay? If I go here, it's text decoration, and I'm gonna put none. You see, that is the way to remove the underline. And then semicolon. Next, if you notice, in Photoshop, the color is kind of black, okay? Or maybe a dark blue. In that case, I'm gonna put here color, enter, and I'm gonna select my color picker. And then I'm gonna select here the eyedropper, and I'm gonna click here, for example, in these mountains. I like that color. Okay, perfect, semicolon. Okay, and now what I would like to do, I would like to add a background color. Okay, if you remember here, I have this light gray that I took from my color theme of my library. And I'm gonna hit return, and I'm gonna put here BA as a background. I'm gonna say background color. I can connect to the same library here. I can put my library, and you can see all the colors that I have here. Or you can just select the color picker. I like to use the eyedropper, and then I'm gonna click, for example, in this area. I like that color. Okay, and I have that color. But the thing is, the color is covering just the word, not the entire block. In that case, what I have to do, I'm gonna type my semicolon, enter, and then I'm gonna put here display as a block. And look at what happened. You can see the entire block is there. Semicolon, return, and then I'm gonna put here the text align on the center. You see, now the text is on the center. But in addition, what I would like to do, I would like to remove this bullet and the space that I have on the left. But that is a property of the LI and the UL. It's not a property of the A. In that case, look at what I'm going to do. I'm going to put here nav space UL. Open and close curly brace, enter, okay? And I'm going to put here the list, okay? And if you see here, I have list style, and I'm going to put here none. And then you don't see the bullets. And in addition, enter, I'm going to put here the padding left to 0. That will remove the padding that comes by default. Okay, let's continue here with the A. The thing that I would like to do, I would like to add a little of padding on the top and the bottom. There is a few ways to do this. I'm going to put here, for example, padding. And you can see here the padding top. And I can put, let's say, for example, 10px. Then I can put semicolon, and then padding bottom, and then 10px. But I would like to show you one way that you can type less code, okay? I'm gonna remove these two paddings, and look at this. If you type just padding, enter, okay? I can put, for example, 10px, and this is the value that you will have on the top. And look at this. This is for the top, for the right, bottom, and left. And what you can put here is padding 10 pixel, space 0, space 10 pixels, space 0, semicolon. And we're gonna add is 10 on the top, 0 on the right, bottom, and left. You see, that is a way that you can type less code. And then I'm gonna put another one, margin. I would like margin just on the bottom. And then let's say, for example, 5 pixels. and then you will see a separation between this element, and semicolon. Okay, the thing that I would like to do, I would like a color every time that I roll over the mouse over this navigation bar. In that case, you have to do this. I'm going to type nav, because I would like to affect the navigation bar, UL-LI-A, but now type colon, the two dots, and here you're going to start searching for the hover. Okay, and then open and close curly brace and return. And what's going to happen here, whatever code that you add here will affect when you hover the image, when you roll over any of these A's. In that case, I'm going to put here BA as a background color. I'm going to select the color picker. And let's say with the eyedropper, I'm going to select here the sky, for example. Okay, and look at this. You see, automatically that happened. You see, it's pretty cool. That is the code that you have for the banner, okay, for the UL, for the ALI, and for the menu. Okay, let's continue. If you want to test this, what you have to do, you can go here to this little icon. You can click there, and then you can hit here in Google Chrome. As soon as you click there, I'm gonna ask you if you want to save it. Of course, save it. Okay, click save here, click yes. And then if you go to Google Chrome, you can see the website. And look at this. The website is more for phone view. Okay, you are not seeing the website how gonna look for the desktop. In that case, what I recommend you to do is just shrink like this, and then you can see the behavior, what's gonna happen. But it's already responsive. You can see it's covering 100% of this. Okay, but you can see it's pretty cool. You have your website. Now, on the next video, I'm going to show you how you can add more CSS for the bottom area. But now you have a very good idea of how you can add CSS to your code. Okay, guys, I hope you liked this video. See you on the next one. Bye.